Hi everybody, welcome to your final art lesson, and what I'd like you to do first of all is go and find some charcoal, and you need a really good range, at least 4 thin pieces and then a couple of other interesting pieces. So what is charcoal? Well, essentially it's a black crumbly drawing material made of carbon, and carbon is produced by the slow burning of wood. So it's basically a burnt stick in very simple terms. Charcoal has been used as an art medium for around 25 to 30,000 years, and these cave paintings you can see here are from the Neo caves in the northern foothills of the Pyrenees in France, and they're around 14,000 years old. And since then, many artists have explored the medium of charcoal. Look how Thomas Gainsborough creates a sense of depth by fading everything in the background and leaving things in great detail in the foreground. Look at his awesome range of marks to create texture. And how John Constable uses light to create really atmospheric pieces. And look at how Vincent van Gogh has blended the trees to make them look like they're almost blowing in the wind. And how David Hockney uses such a different range of marks throughout his work. So we're going to do some charcoal drawings today, and for you guys to be successful, first of all you need to start seeing your world in black and white. So let's run through the basics. Where the sky meets the land, where you can see here, this is called the horizon line. The foreground of your drawing is anything that is in the front, so you see where I'm drawing now, anything within that and below is my foreground and should be in lots of detail as it's nearest to where I am sat. The middle ground is where I'm drawing now and should be in the middle of your landscape drawing. This needs to be in less detail than the foreground. And last of all, the background needs to have very little detail at all. All of this will help your landscape have a sense of depth. So, task 1, draw in your horizon line and then sketch in all the main details, including your tree. Refine it, and then grab a new piece of paper or turn to another double page in your book and start testing out your charcoal. Try using different ends, different sides, and see how many different marks you can create. Next, take a small piece of charcoal and crush it with your fingers and crumble a small amount onto your page. You're then going to blend it to give your page just a very light grey tint. Try and keep your hands away from your face. And then take a thin piece of charcoal and start sketching in your tree. You should still be able to see your drawing lightly underneath the grey area that you have just added. Parallel lines, remember? And then remembering what you learnt last week, start with a small piece of charcoal and at the ends of the branches use a circular motion and a light tone to add the leaf foliage at the end of each branch. Do add in extra branches as you go, and remember how they are very angular often. Remember to put foliage in front of the branches too. And then onto your second layer using a medium pressure to create medium tones. Now start drawing in anything that is very obvious. So you can see this band of grey through the centre of my landscape, which is my midground. So I'm just going to start adding that in to my piece. So I've blocked in the tone and then I've created a mark making technique over the top. Add in your background, remembering that it should be faded, and try not to touch your tree. I then used a chunky piece of charcoal and with a rough texture to create a grass texture. It's very common to want to overblend your charcoal pieces. Try to avoid this. add any shadows in. And now onto layer 3 for my tree using a heavy pressure. Remember, these need to be dotted about randomly, and I am blending it very, very carefully with my finger, but also allowing it to still have a little bit of texture too. Use an eraser to pick up and reinstate any highlights. You can also use it as a mark making technique to add in any texture and to add in any lighter detail. Carefully blend away any smudgy finger marks and then reinstate your horizon line so you can see where the land meets the sky. Try and use your tools to create a range of textures. And remember that everything fades and shrinks into the distance. Well done everyone, have a wonderful summer.